It's the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and Triple H has got an announcement. It's the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Friday night edition. Myself, NYC Demon Diva Issa, and Jimmy Korderas. We keep doing this, Jimmy. It's the new tag team here.
I don't know. I'm going to start wearing blue a lot more often then, I guess.
Yeah, apparently. We'll see. Apparently. I'm trying to change it up a little bit tonight, but Issa is back from WrestleMania. Tonight, AEW's got 2 hours. Issa's had a hell of a travel week. We're all very tired. And we said, you know what? Everyone's eyes are going to be on SmackDown. What is Triple H's announcement? What does he have to say? It's all everyone's going to be talking about.
He pulled a Tony Khan on us. He pulled
a Michael Scott. I mean, the surprise is that there's going to be a surprise. He has an announcement. There's going to be an announcement. There's going to be a draft in a few weeks. So
yeah.
Oh, but like 5 years, like it was up until a few years ago, every superstar is eligible.
I thought it was always that way.
I mean, NXT hasn't been involved. Sorry, Jimmy, what were you going to say?
Right. No, that's what I was going to say. I was just going to say that he says everyone is eligible, and I'm wondering if that's including NXT talent that might get brought up, like a Braun Breaker, so forth, and that sort of thing. But, I know what the big complaint is. Oh, you're drafted to SmackDown, but SmackDown superstars appear on Raw, and Raw superstars appear on SmackDown. And you know what? Having them exclusive maybe gives some guys a little time to get on television a little bit, but you do need a little crossover, at times when it makes sense.
Yeah. Issa, are you excited for the draft?
I am excited for the draft. I just hope we don't have another segment like when Becky and Charlotte had to exchange belts, because that was the weirdest thing in the world. So I hope that they keep Bianca or Rhea or whatever they end up doing. We don't have to have an actual segment of belts being exchanged.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. But no, the draft should be exciting. Maybe we'll have some WWE draft dodgers sneak across the border to Canada to evade the WWE draft.
Oh.
Hopefully they, won't be future endeavored. We'll see.
Seattle, they'll end up in BC, though. They'll end up in Vancouver or something like that. So.
Yes. So Trudeau will announce amnesty for WWE draft dodgers. Do we have any news? Anything going on today?
This is what happens when Alfred loses his voice. We all know Alfred is afraid to be seen on camera with me once again after, Roman Reigns humiliated Cody at WrestleMania. But Alfred losing his voice, allegedly, he's the one who usually brings in the news. I didn't have time to look, so I'm sorry. Blame Alfred.
Yeah, speaking of Dodgers, Alfred not here tonight.
Dodging me. He
has been ugly crying all week after Cody Rhodes' loss. And we wish him well in his time of emotional distress.
We? Maybe you and Jimmy, not me. I tried to warn him about what was going to happen.
Crazy. So let's dive right into SmackDown. And tonight we opened, talk about banger after banger, Imperium versus the Brawling Brutes tonight. And the Brutes getting a win. Jimmy, what'd you think of this match?
I liked it. A good, hard-hitting match, which is what it needed to be, especially with these two teams. You knew what to expect, and they brought it. I thought it was a very good, 6-man match. Of course, since I'm the king of the dad jokes, I'm going to be I was a little surprised that in this match with the Brawling Brutes and Imperium, we saw an Alabama Slam and a Boston Crab. But other than that, hey, sorry, couldn't resist.
Never changed, Jimmy. Never changed. No. I missed you.
Issa, how you feeling about this? How you feeling about this match?
I thought the match was great. I thought it was a great way to open the show. A banger, of course. It's just that we've seen so many versions of this match at this point. Respect to these guys because they keep going and they make it interesting. But we've seen this a lot. So I just want to point that out.
Yeah. I mean, Fight Forever takes on a different feel sometimes with these feuds that never end. But this is the good thing about the draft. Okay, so here's the pros and the cons of the draft. One, we're going to get some new feuds, mix things up, change some things. Problem is, they are literally like people that refuse to buy a new tube of toothpaste and are just squeezing, stepping on it, putting all their weight on it just to get the last drops out of these feuds before the draft and things change, which is going to be painful for the next few weeks.
It's going to be interesting because there are some rivalries that are still continuing after WrestleMania. That one in particular that we'll be talking about a little bit later. If there is a change there, that's going to be interesting to see if what happens.
Right.
Yeah. I think you know which one I'm alluding to, Father Son there.
Yeah.
This was a good match to open the show. I mean, tonight wasn't a super eventful SmackDown. It's funny. We had Good Friday. We had off today. We were sitting on the couch binging old episodes of Car 54, Where Are You? And having quite a chuckle because it's a very funny show that holds up surprisingly well. And then we turned over to SmackDown and it was just kind of like, okay, what's, Triple H has got this announcement. What's happening? Is he walking away? Is he stepping down? Is Braun Breaker getting called up? Are we the authority still again?
No, you didn't just bring that back up.
I mean, it's kind of weird, right? Like, actually,
did we ever stop being the authority? That's a good question.
I think we had the authority stripped from us without like they stuck it, just in the still of the night. We were all asleep and it was just, they somehow revoked that authority from us. But they kind of broke the curse though, because it feels like every episode where Triple H just had an announcement, there was a big announcement at the show, has kind of sucked. And tonight didn't suck. I'll give it that.
No, it didn't. It didn't suck.
Agreed.
Yeah. So a couple super chats, or 3 actually. Thank you for sending those in. Keep them coming. T Smitty $3,005 saying Issa had the best weekend ever. Cody lost to Roman, then got beat down by her beastie. I wish there was another rubber chicken next to Cody on Monday.
Oh, wow.
T Smitty same. I had an incredible weekend. You think that I'm like secretly booking these shows the way that these things are going on my favor, but thank you for acknowledging that. It was a great time. Not even this weird cold flu that I caught could stop me from enjoying everything that went down.
Fat Matt, $2 saying, how soon until 24/7 title's back?
You know what? It has its place. There's no rush. And when it does come back, they can make it feel like a cool thing. I wish they had the APA office so that they can do it. Like I remember actually counting a pinfall in the APA office one time.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I think the 24/7 title, I mean, they need things to change it up, but I think with Vince back a little bit in play, who knows? Mia Lee 499. I love Dom. Something about him is so captivating. Braun and Roxy and Grayson Waller and Caden and Katana will be drafted. I think we're going to see a lot of NXT call-ups. It's been a while since we've had a wave.
I like bringing him up like that instead of bringing him up randomly.
Yeah,
because you draft him up as opposed to graduation time, sort of thing.
Correct. I like that sort of as well.
It makes the talent feel wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The Tornado Anthony Y, shout out to the Tornado. Buck 99 saying, hey Glenn, what's funny is a no-show Roman F Roman.
I feel really bad. Like the one thing that I've experienced, actually I don't feel bad, but I have experienced a lot of full-grown men crying over Roman winning and super chats of full men crying over Roman not showing. It's pretty amusing if you're in my position, but listen, whatever makes you feel better. Thanks for your money.
Hey, look, Roman's a heel, but he's no Dominic Mysterio.
No, nobody's at that level. Wow. Nobody's at that level.
Right now, that's incredible.
I mean, holy shit. We will talk about this. Dominic Mysterio, headline, Dominic Mysterio is the biggest heel in all of professional wrestling. I'm trying to think he stole the crown from MJF, to be honest. I don't know how he did it. People started loving MJF. That was the problem.
Yes, exactly. He became too entertaining. Yes, you need to be entertaining to get people invested. But when you go above and beyond where people say, like, for example, him doing his Dean Martin / Bing Crosby stuff on Wednesday night and everybody going, that was too much. And whether they found it funny, whatever the case may be, they were entertained by it.
Yeah.
Dom is entertaining in a pro wrestling sense where as a heel, he's generating that emotion where you just want to see him get his ass handed to him. Yeah.
But it's not go away heat. This isn't Eva Marie, this isn't X-Pac heat, to bring back the cliche. Like, this is people are enjoying hating him, but it's not a love-hate thing like MJF has, It's very interesting.
Yes.
But we'll get more into that. Paul Heyman was there tonight. Paul Heyman, the hardest working man in the bloodline, who always shows up. And a Passover themed promo. He's speaking to our people tonight with how is this night different than all other nights, and he felt passed over. Love that. And then they're trying to set it up that Brock Lesnar betrayed Cody because Brock was pissed about having to open WrestleMania.
How cute is that? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I know Brock was on that plane. Brock probably flew home and flew back for Raw the next night.
1000%.
Oh, you never know. Wait a minute. Mania was in LA, going back to Saskatchewan. That's a hike.
Yeah. Hey, but when you're flying private, right? I mean, you know.
Yeah. No, and him probably he could land on his farm field.
Oh yeah.
So, he's got his own
That's
runway.
power when you can land at your house.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something. So okay.
But at least really quickly
No,
here,
please.
but at least they're trying to give a reason. They're speculating right now, and in a way, kind of making people want to tune in on Monday to find out what was the reason for this.
Do you think Brock is going to give some long thought out, get on the mic and be like, you know, let me tell you why I did what I did?
Yeah, well, not long.
No, why
drawn
would
out.
he though?
Yeah. No, he said, I did what I did because I wanted to. That's all he has to say.
Yeah.
Because I'm Brock Lesnar and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, just flip off the camera and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so Jay is taking on Sami Zayn tonight. Heyman said Jimmy isn't there. Reigns wanted Jimmy to stay home to allow Jay to shine entirely on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And Heyman told Sikoa that if Jay doesn't solve the Sami Zayn problem, he has to solve their problem. So how do you solve a problem like Sami Zayn? We'll find out later in the episode. But then we had Ricochet versus Ivar with Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
Partners not at ringside, but Ricochet getting a win is consolation for not winning the Mania match? Question mark? I don't know. Jimmy, what'd you think of this? What'd you think of this match?
No, I thought it was a good match, and it was a nice win for Ricochet, who hasn't had very many of them, let's put it that way, outside of the tag team with Braun. So it's a nice little pick-me-up for him and gets people going, maybe there is something there with him. And, you know, and he won using a shooting star press as opposed to using it as a big and massive false finish. Somebody actually winning with their finishing maneuver for once.
Yeah. Issa, what did you think of this? And does Team Little Big 2.0 have a future in the tag team division?
I'm not sure they have a future or not, but I actually did think that showcase tag match between these teams was a banger at WrestleMania. I thought they killed it, and it was a match that I didn't necessarily feel invested in. By the end of it, I was like on my feet. I thought this was a fun match. I just wish they were doing more. Viking Raiders, they've been back for a while, and they're hot, and then they're cold, and Little Big, they're just together over Twitter, I think. I feel like there's no backstories here, but it was a great showcase match, and I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was good. Love Ricochet. Can't wait for them to finally pull the trigger. Still don't get the Viking Raiders. Not my thing, man. So Kevin Owens and Sam.
Do you find it a very cliched gimmick for this era?
We've talked about this before, Jimmy. Yes, I think in this era, they don't come across like the Road Warriors. They come across like they're going to Ren Fair tomorrow.
Gotcha.
You know, like it doesn't. I like larger than life gimmicks, and we talked about this about Mania, right? In the daytime, this is not a good daytime gimmick. This is not a bright light gimmick. The promos they had outside in nature with the fire and the skulls, like that works to sell it. But you get them under the bright light of the arena, and it just looks hokey. You know what it looks like? I mean, Raj has said this many times on the podcast. It looks like if this were an 80s or 90s sitcom and they were doing like, oh, and so-and-so's, you know, I'm going to see professional wrestling. This looks like the joke gimmick they would put out there to be like, see how ridiculous wrestling is?
Gotcha.
You know? Gotcha. That's why I don't take it seriously.
Gotcha. No.
It's a valid point.
Very valid.
And Kevin and Sammy were backstage admiring their tag team championships. Sami says that a sense of obligation, he's got to talk to Jay. Their relationship is great. With Kevin's like,
he's acting like a stage 5 clinger. He's a stage 5 clinger, Sami Zayn. He broke up with the bloodline. Like, let it go. Why are you still trying to mess with them? Let it go. You made this choice.
Sami Zayn is the wrestling equivalent of Jon Favreau and Swingers leaving the 11 messages on the answering machine. I mean, Sami just can't give something distance, space, and breathing room.
Yeah, apparently. So, of course, KO advising him, don't do it. And Sami doesn't listen. And and I love the way that they talk, like the relationship from the past. Who says, I know you. It doesn't matter what I say. You're going to do it anyways, but I just have to let you know, I don't think you should do it. You know, it's kind of like, you know, the brothers trying to, you know.
It's very funny. I mean, Sami being like, you're right. And I agree with you, but I kind of feel like I need to do it anyway. Like, like never change, Sami. So couple super chats. Tornado Puck 99 saying Roman Reigns is not on that Dom level heat, Issa. I mean, it's true.
Nobody's on that Dom.
But
now. It's awesome.
but it's Dom doing merch sales like Roman right now. But anyways, that's a different story.
He needs the right shirt. We got to they got to come up with the right way to package that and merchandise it. Fat Matt $2 saying last week Wade Barrett said big meeting men slapping meat. It's America's in the wrestling community's favorite catchphrase.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so over. So let's see what happened next. Oh, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan versus Natalya and Shotzi, and Raquel and Liv are getting their title shot on Raw on Monday.
Were there rumors that this match was going to get cut for time or something?
Not that I but granted, I do not have a connection with the streets, so I don't hear the rumors.
I was doing a live stream and people were saying, "Oh, the women are getting the match," and I didn't realize if there was some kind of rumor going around or not.
So, here's my question, Issa, and I only ask you this as a woman because you might know more about this than I do. Shotzi and Natalya describe themselves as ballsy baddies. When did baddie become the replacement for the other B word? And maybe I'm answering my own question because you can say baddie on TV and in any context easier. But I feel like baddie, much like Cap'n, somehow became a thing and I didn't get the memo.
I don't use that term a lot, so I'm going to have to say that maybe that's what the kids are saying.
I don't get it.
I'm not one to use the term baddie. I still choose to go for the other B word.
That does not surprise me. Jimmy, what's the last new slang that you remember hearing and adopting in your own vocabulary?
Oh my goodness, I couldn't remember. It was so long ago. The thing that's getting me nowadays is the words that have STR are pronounced with an H in it now. Now you walk down the street. You don't walk down the street. It's not straight arrow. It's not. You know what I'm saying? When did this become a thing?
It's like the what? It's like the H in front of the W.
Yeah.
Somehow just everybody decided this was going to be a thing.
Or when something is huge, YUGE.
Well, I think we know who coined that term in America.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yes. It's kind of like vast majority. It's like vast majority got used like night and day in the 2000 presidential election. And now there's no majority anymore. Now it's the vast majority.
Vast majority.
Yes. So let's see. Liv and Raquel won this match. Jimmy, do you think they have a chance of winning the tag titles on Monday at Raw?
I guess you could say there's always a chance, but if it's time to elevate them, I don't know. The story hasn't evolved to that point yet, I don't believe. And yes, they did have this match with Natty and Shotzi tonight, which wasn't a bad match for the time it was given, but it just felt like a tune-up match, so to speak, and it did nothing for Shotzi and Natty. That being said, will they win the titles on Monday? My prediction is no, because I don't think the time is right. And I'm not sure that, yes, Raquel has a future and Liv is still good, but as a team right now, I don't see them, elevating the division, so to speak. I think they're good contenders for now, and that's about it.
Issa?
No, I agree with everything Jimmy just said. I don't see them winning the titles on Monday. Not yet. They do make a great team.
So it was announced a couple days ago that Triple H was going to come out tonight to address the WWE universe. There was speculation. I mean, there was an online quote unquote movement.
Oh my
and
God.
What does that mean?
Yeah, he was going to come out and retire and say goodbye. I saw so many things. It was great.
But no, there was an online social media movement of people that were very unhappy about the Cody situation. There was this Occupy SmackDown movement to try and get people to come out and protest, which is weird. Like, buy a ticket to the show to come out and tell the company how much you hate them. By the way, that is wrestling fan thinking in a nutshell, especially with internet wrestling fans.
Or using the hashtag, what is it, fire Vince, when you're asking to fire the owner of the company, and it doesn't really work that way. But listen, I'm not going to get my opinion involved.
Please spend $20 on a super chat to tell us how much you hate us. There's got to be at least $20.
Right.
That's the key. So yeah, I mean, look, I thought Triple H was going to come out there much like your uncle that tries to make excuses for your racist grandfather with antiquated views. I thought that was Triple H's role originally tonight, but no, he came out just to sort of, pat the crowd on the back, pat WWE on the back, and announce that the draft is coming.
Yeah, it was, I don't want to say anticlimactic. I was expecting something out of the box, but then rumors started to circulate, and I'm okay with the announcement, but I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting something, or as a very famous cartoon character would say, an earth-shattering kaboom. And I didn't get the earth-shattering kaboom. Am I looking forward to the draft? Yes, out of curiosity to see where this leads.
Yeah, we got Tony Khan with this one. It just feels like an announcement that could have been a tweet,
Triple K?
And then when he was doing, well, no, I don't think that's the right moniker, Jimmy. I think he should really not use that.
No. That's he. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not do that one.
I'm sorry. That was really good.
Yeah. Oh, I just thank you. Yeah. My bad. See, that's what happens when you're Canadian. Things like that don't hit you right away.
Yeah. I have a joke about that for you, Jimmy. I'll tell you later.
I apologize to everyone out there. Don't, please. It wasn't anyway.
No, Tony can't use as a verb. Apparently, the chat is loving it.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, Jimmy. I really needed that. So when he was going to do his announcement, making the introduction, I really thought Braun Breaker or someone was. I thought we were about to get a big debut.
It's funny that you bring that up because my attention went immediately to who he was going to introduce, because that's somebody that's pretty big on his eyes right now, and he has not been shy about how highly he thinks of Rhea Ripley's job, like the job that she's doing right now.
Absolutely.
So I was very excited that Rhea did get that moment of Triple H being the one introducing her right after his segment, and we saw the handshaking between him and not just Rhea at the Judgment Day, which good for them. I think Judgment Day is doing great work.
Absolutely.
All of them.
Yeah.
Good for him to put them over. It's interesting that Rhea being the women's champ and her association with Judgment Day, because here we are after Mania. Now I think I'm going to tell you where this flipped for me. I was like, oh, this is kind of a demotion for the SmackDown women's champ that she's in this feud. Clearly, Dominic has this just atomic heel heat from the crowd. Everyone wants to see Dominic and Ray. LWO and Judgment Day is really hot. Rhea and Zelina don't really get very physical in these matches. But then it occurred to me, it was like, no, you know what? For Backlash, I could absolutely see Zelina challenging Rhea for.
I mean, it's not like I interviewed her and got her saying it and tweeted it out or anything.
There was a lot of content this week.
Just saying. I mean,
I asked
her about it before Rhea was even champion, and that's the match that she said she would like to wrestle in Puerto Rico. So just letting you know, it's out there on my Twitter.
Just give Issa credit for everything.
There you go.
Acknowledge me, please. Thank you.
She's booking the women's division now.
Yes. But no, Zelina versus Rhea in Puerto Rico at Backlash for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That will be awesome. Great opportunity for Zelina. I think Rhea will wrestle a hell of a match. I hope that's where they're going based on the two of them getting into it tonight.
I personally felt the one that felt odd here was Finn Balor because of this feud with Edge. And then he's saying, oh, I'm here. I love what he had to say because we all know Finn went through it in that Hell in a Cell match. And he made the point of, hey, I showed up. Where is Edge? Nowhere to be seen. But it does feel like Finn is the odd one out because they managed to include Damian Priest and Dominic in a storyline that does involve Rhea as well. So Finn right now felt like the odd one out in this segment today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Finn did just have the feud with Edge. Finn's got a lot of time. I don't think it's the worst thing if Finn, I mean, Jesus, he like bled thoroughly for this company at WrestleMania. I think Finn just getting to sit there and be the hype man for this might not be the worst thing.
No, absolutely. And let him heal and get heal. That 14 staples, he said.
Yeah.
You know, my goodness. And you know, they were doing the repair job while the match was going on. And, you know, on a side note, hats off to WWE for not shooting that.
Yeah, absolutely.
While they were doing the repair job. And the fact, like you said, he said the fact that he brought up, hey, look, despite the 14 staples, I'm here. Where's Edge? He's nowhere to be found, that kind of stuff. It's a nice little touch he added there. And so maybe in some form or fashion that continues. I don't know how you continue past a Hell in a Cell match, but
yeah,
there are definitely some seeds planted with Judgment Day and like you said, Bad Bunny and that sort of stuff.
Oh, I think it's going to be Priest and Dom versus Ray and Bad Bunny. I mean, that's...
Again, Glenn, I tweeted that out back in March, but you're welcome.
Yeah.
Just saying, I'm not putting it behind a paywall. I'm giving you all of you guys this for free on my Twitter. You just got to pay attention. The problem is I talk so much crap that people don't see the things that I say seriously in between all the crap that I talk, you know?
I mean, if you have a newsletter and maybe you could just email it to me with like, you know, in the subject line.
With the scoops, with the scoops.
Yeah. But again, well, one thing is for sure, like you said, Glenn, Dom has been hitting all strides. He is getting nuclear heat from the crowd to the point where he just picked up the mic and started to talk, and they booed so loud they didn't want to hear him.
I mean, Finn and Priest. I mean, Finn's been doing this a long time. I mean, like they looked impressed tonight with what Dominic was able to elicit from the crowd. Like that was crazy. Yeah, absolutely crazy,
insane, and good for him. Good on him. Good on him.
So we had Judgment Day with Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley versus Rey Mysterio and Sanchez Escobar with Legado del Fantasma, the LWO. So not a lot of action with Ray and Dominic. A bit.
Well, hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, but if you during all the booing that Dom was getting, I thought it was hilarious that he chose to say that he restrained himself because he didn't want to cause hurt on his father. Like that was so genius. I was like, stop. But next thing you know, when they finally get in the ring 1-on-1, he's like punching the crap out of Ray, and I'm like, Dominic is doing an amazing job right now. If you would have told me we were all gonna be this high on Dominic a year ago, I would have probably laughed. So shut my hands out to him.
Yeah.
One of the best, seriously. I think, this kid should take the belt off Roman.
Well, they got a whole year to plan till 14 till Philadelphia. I mean, so hey,
you got carried away there, Glenn. You need to relax, chill, bro.
So Judgment Day won this, and Rhea chasing off Zelina. Like I think it's going to be a good match. I want to see them build that in tandem with this. I think it needs to happen.
Right.
We saw Sami looking for Jey Uso. We got video. Shinsuke Nakamura is coming back next week.
So excited. So excited.
Yeah, it's been a while. And like we said, once WrestleMania is over, it starts the new season of WWE. And, going back, this I like, reintroducing Shinsuke Nakamura, the king of strong style. And going back to the draft, I'm liking that they're doing it now, one thing, as opposed to the fall. And
if I am not mistaken, Shinsuke has never been a Monday Night Raw star. He might have shown up on one-offs, but he's never been an official member of the Monday Night Raw roster. Fun fact.
Gotcha. Yes.
And
it's a good time to reintroduce him and maybe bring him to Monday nights.
Yes. Sorry, I've just had a flashback to when they originally called him up on SmackDown in one of the worst debut angles ever for a superstar. If you've never seen it before,
I loved it, but I loved it just because it was Shinsuke. Like, but the Miz and Maurice are in the ring dressed as John Cena and Nikki Bella. Like, the whole thing was weird.
Oh, that was good. No, but remember when Dolph was comparing him to Michael Jackson and all the like? It was
but that wasn't his debut. His debut was the night after WrestleMania 33 when he lost. The painting gimmick, the artist Shinsuke. Like it was bad. I know. I love Shinsuke. I think Shinsuke is a saint, and if he comes to Puerto Rico, I will gladly take him to the best waves. There is to surf.
He's very into the surfing. But no, Shinsuke. I mean, look, Shinsuke versus Sami still top 5 match I've ever seen in person.
Oh, well, yeah.
Wow.
So good. So Sami was talking to Jay, making no progress, and there was a crash. Solo attacked Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens, they kept saying crushed his leg. I'm going to be livid, and the fans are too, if they have to drop these titles due to Owens not being able to compete.
It would be an interesting way to get the titles off them without them having to be pinned. At least you trying to look at the bright side. Always look on the bright side of life as we go there.
But I think that's more humiliating than what they did to Zack Ryder after Mania. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have them have this big moment and the crowd get behind them, and then it's like, oh, psych.
Yeah, I know, and especially, like you said, the main event of WrestleMania 1, night 1. And the reaction, and it was such a huge moment, and you can't describe it. You have to live that moment, because you could see it on their faces. You could almost feel it through the screen. At least I could tell that what that moment meant to them, and to have that taken away so quickly, I think a little too soon. Anyway.
Yeah, but
I agree.
We will see. We will see what happens. Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso was the main event.
I feel like this match could have been built up for a pay-per-view with the history that these two got.
Yeah.
Felt a little throwaway-ish for me. Like, I feel like we could have done more with this.
Yeah, and to have him lose the same way with Solo interfering, I don't know. It was
well, at least that leaves some room for some kind of potential of them having a one-on-one without anybody being allowed ringside or whatever, and then we really see them go at it. So I do think there was some slight protection there, but they have history. Like, the bloodline wouldn't be where they're at without Jay and Sami and what they did. So it just felt like, really, we're just gonna put it on this SmackDown just because, with, like, I don't know. I
agree.
Whatever. You get my point.
Give it a real build where it's worth it. So Jay won, Jay and Solo just beating up Sami, and then out to the rescue, Matt Riddle.
Why?
Interesting choice.
Well, because Solo took him.
Yeah, but to your point, shout out to commentary for automatically saying it, because I had no idea. I didn't remember, and it was the first time that commentary actually helped me out, because I was like, "What? He has nothing to do with this." And then Michael Cole came through and said, "Hey, Solo took him out." I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." It's just not the person that I need involved in this storyline at the moment.
Well, with Kevin Owens sidelined potentially.
I don't know. He can go like lose to Theory or Gunther or something,
Right.
Can you imagine the tag team of Matt Riddle and Sami Zayn? And what I mean by that is, like, Riddle with his boy-like wonder, and that's a nice way for saying stoned out of his mind, with his boy-like wonder, and Sami with, like, his weird sort of quirks and whatnot. I mean, that's an episode of Ride Along I'd watch.
Oh my goodness! Freaking Riddle out. Riddle trying to make out what he said. Dude, that's awesome. I don't know. But like Isa said, it was smart from commentary to bring that up. And I will say this, shout out, not just because he's an old card playing buddy of mine, but big shout out to Michael Cole, who is very underrated as a play-by-play.
Oh, he's great.
He's awesome. He's absolutely awesome, and he gets it. You have the commentary has to help tell the story.
Well, look, I'll tell you, Riddle versus Solo, that's going to be an amazing match.
Oh yeah,
if and when we get that.
Because of the MMA background, Solo obviously the muscle, the heater, so to speak, for the bloodline. It makes sense to have a guy who can fight. So that's how they could promote it. It's going to be a fight, and a lot of us were speculating that maybe at WrestleMania we were going to see what was it? The cage, the fight pit.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's something that he can do with Solo. I don't know.
That would be great.
Once Shane heals up, bring back Raw Underground, and it's the perfect venue.
And then bring Snoop Dogg back for the doggy dog elbow.
Shout out to Snoop.
Details came out that Shane was flown to Alabama to a sports medicine center for immediate surgery on that torn quad after Mania. So that was serious.
Yeah.
Wish him well in his recovery.
Obviously I can make the bad jokes about torn quads and McMahon's, but because I was there for the double one.
Oh yeah.
Vince, so I was in the ring when it happened.
Damn.
Yeah.
When he fell backwards, everybody went, "What the?"
Yeah.
And he just sat there, and you could tell he had that look on his face, and come here, and they went, "Yes, sir."
It's crazy in this world of stage fighting, and people selling all the time when you see real injuries happen. Because the way that people react to legitimate injuries does not look the way people sell injuries.
No, absolutely. And that's another big shout out to Snoop Dogg for making people think that maybe that was planned from the get-go. Him doing it on the fly, impromptu, you know what I mean? So hats off to him for a job well done.
Do you think, the original finish of that though, Shane was going to win, but Snoop was going to probably do something in that. The plan wasn't Shane goes over and Snoop just stands there and goes hell yeah. That wasn't the original plan.
I don't know this for a fact, but my guess would be that after the match, Snoop would get in the ring and then Miz would be pissed at him. And that's when they go into the spot where he does the few punches in the elbow. Yeah. They had enough sense to go, hey, let's do this now.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. I don't know if that's true or not, but because it just looked too smooth on Snoop's end, and not to take anything away from him, but boy, that was.
I saw Snoop later on, and he was just having a blast, taking pictures with fans and everything, and I was like, shout out to him. So he was so chill about everything.
Absolutely. So we went off the air tonight. Riddle and Zayn in the ring together. It's weird. Sami Zayn just started wetting his hair recently. I can't get used to that look yet. Sammy with the wet hair.
Every podcast.
I think maybe it's in reaction to the fact there were memes about how his hair was getting bigger and bigger in recent weeks. So it's going to take some time to get used to. Fat Matt with the super chat saying, "I'd rather Hornswoggle run out than Riddle."
Wow.
Hornswoggle can't run. Sorry.
Okay, so he what he meant to say is he'd rather Hornswoggle slowly walk to the ring.
Maybe skip. Skipping is underrated. I would skip.
Agreed. I love skipping.
Skipping is the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever skip, Jimmy?
Been a while.
It's incredible when you do it as an adult. Let me tell you, it's incredible because you realize how fast you can go, how far you're just moving with those strides. If Wrestling Inc. audience, if you have not skipped in decades, I recommend you give that a try.
I skipped circles around everyone when Roman Reigns won on night 2.
I can only imagine.
So this was a serviceable episode of SmackDown. I think we all tuned in because we were curious what Triple H was going to do or say.
There was a lot of wrestling on a wrestling show. Yeah. Imagine that.
That was nice.
On a sports entertainment show. Sorry.
Yeah. Good. Apologies tonight, just due to exhaustion and the fact that AEW is 2 hours tonight. There was an executive decision made not to cover that this evening, but next week I think we'll be back to normal. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. Follow Jimmy at Jimmy Korderas on the Twitter. He says at NYC Demon Diva, that's Diva with a 1. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. If you like the podcast, leave us a rating, a review, subscribe, click that bell notification on YouTube. And the Monday Night Crew will be back for Raw. We'll be back for NXT on Tuesday and have
we'll see if Alfred's finally ready to face the ring's reality.
There you go.
Tough. Issa and I have a new episode of Yellow Jackets Buzz out now.
Yes, go check it out. We stayed up until 4 a.m. my time to get that done.
Thursdays are now late nights. Have a good Easter, everybody. We will catch you back here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
Yes.
And happy Passover as well.
And whatever you're celebrating this weekend, please take care, enjoy your families, and stay safe.
Absolutely. Take care.